You say sorry for everything. For existing, for taking up space, for having needs, for asking questions, for saying no. You apologize when someone bumps into you. You apologize when you are not wrong. You apologize for things that are not your fault. The word sorry has become the background music of your life, and you do not even notice it anymore. Why? Why do you apologize when you have done nothing wrong? Why do you shrink yourself to make others comfortable? Why does saying no feel like a crime? Subscribe if you want to understand the machinery behind your own mind. There is a psychological profile for people who over-apologize. It is often rooted in childhood. If you grew up with unpredictable caregivers, you learn to walk on eggshells. You learn that your needs upset people, that your emotions were too much, that your presence was an inconvenience. So you learn to apologize in advance for being hungry, for being tired, for being sad, for being happy too loudly. You learned that the safest thing to do was to make yourself small, and sorry became your shield. If this resonates, hit subscribe, because you need a reminder that you were trained to apologize, and what was trained can be untrained. The psychology of over-apologizing is connected to several deeper patterns. The first is low self-worth. When you do not believe you deserve to take up space, you apologize for taking it. Every request feels like an imposition. Every need feels like a burden. Every boundary feels like an attack. You apologize because deep down you believe that you are the problem, not your actions, you. The second is hyper-responsibility. You feel responsible for everyone else's emotions. If someone is upset, you assume it is your fault. If someone is angry, you assume you caused it. If someone is sad, you should fix it. You carry the emotional weight of everyone around you, and you apologize for the weight you think you created. The third is conflict avoidance. You have learned that conflict is dangerous, that disagreement leads to abandonment, that saying no leads to rejection. So you apologize to keep the peace. Even when keeping the peace means betraying yourself, even when the apology is a lie. You would rather be wrong than stand in a fight. You would rather say sorry than stand your ground. The fourth is perfectionism. You hold yourself to impossible standards. You believe you should never make mistakes, never inconvenience anyone, never be a burden. When you inevitably fail at being perfect, you apologize. Not because you did something wrong, because you failed at being the imaginary version of yourself who never needs anything. Here is what over-apologizing costs you. It costs you your power. Every unnecessary apology is a small surrender. You give away a piece of your authority. You signal that you are the one at fault, that you are the one who should be smaller. Over time, people believe you. They start treating you like you are the problem because you have told them you are. It costs you your authenticity. You are not saying what you mean. You are saying what you think will keep you safe. Your words become a performance, and performances are exhausting. You lose track of who you actually are beneath all the apologies. It costs you your relationships. People who over-apologize are not easier to be around. They are harder because constant apologizing forces others to constantly reassure you. It becomes a cycle. You apologize, they say it is fine. You apologize again, they get annoyed. You apologize for annoying them. Real connection cannot survive this dance. People get tired and they leave. It costs you your peace. Your mind is always scanning for what you did wrong, what you should apologize for, who you might have upset. There is no rest, only vigilance, only guilt, only sorry. So how do you stop? How do you break the apology habit? First, you notice. Pay attention to every time you say sorry for the next 24 hours. Write it down if you have to. You will be shocked at how often you say it. For things that are not your fault, for things that do not require an apology, for simply existing. Noticing is the first step. You cannot change what you do not see. Second, you pause. Before you say sorry, take a breath. Ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? Did I hurt someone? Did I make a mistake that requires amends? Or am I apologizing because I feel uncomfortable, because I want to avoid conflict, because I'm scared of their reaction? If you did nothing wrong, do not apologize. Third, you replace. Instead of saying sorry for being late, say thank you for waiting. Instead of sorry for asking, say thank you for helping. Instead of sorry for venting, say thank you for listening. The shift is subtle but powerful. You move from shrinking to appreciating, from apologizing for your existence to acknowledging theirs. Fourth, you practice discomfort. When you don't apologize, you will feel wrong. You will feel guilty. You will feel like you are being rude. This is not a sign that you should apologize. It is a sign that you are breaking a habit. The discomfort is the growth. Sit with it. Breathe through it. It will pass, and each time it passes, you get stronger. Fifth, you examine the source. Why do you feel the need to apologize? Who taught you that you were too much? When did you learn that your needs were a burden? These questions are painful, but they are necessary. The apology habit is a symptom. The real wound is deeper, and healing the wound is the only way to stop the symptom. Here is what happens when you stop over-apologizing. You get your power back. You stop shrinking. You take up the space you deserve. You realize that your needs are not burdens. Your emotions are not too much. Your presence is not an inconvenience. You are allowed to exist without apology. You get your authenticity back. You say what you mean. You ask for what you need. You set boundaries without guilt. Your words become yours again, not a performance designed to keep you safe, but an honest expression of who you are. You get your peace back. Your mind stops scanning for what you did wrong. You stop carrying the emotional weight of everyone around you. You realize that their feelings are theirs, not yours to manage, not yours to apologize for. You get your relationships back. Real ones, not the ones built on you shrinking, but the ones built on mutual respect, where you don't have to apologize for existing, where you are allowed to be human. You have spent enough time saying sorry. You have apologized for taking up space in a world that belongs to you as much as anyone else. You have shrunk yourself to make others comfortable while you suffocated. You have said sorry for things that were never your fault. Today, you stop. Not all at once, one apology at a time, one pause at a time, one replacement at a time. You remind yourself that you are not the problem. You never were. You were just trained to believe you were, and training can be untrained. You are allowed to exist without apology. If you are ready to stop shrinking and start taking up space, subscribe. Every week, we explore not just how the mind works, but how to make it work for you. Not the apology, the freedom. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.